This is a show where you can get all of your questions answered about how to advance your career, to position yourself the right way so you can attract the right people. Maybe even start, grow, understand how to scale your very own side hustle, online business, making money online, mindset, messaging, bringing more humanness to this digitalness. You want to make sure you come on back. Even if you're watching or listening to this on the replay, listen and watch the entire way through because you're going to get a ton out of this. It's office hours with yours truly. Ask me anything. Come on back. Yo, 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 welcome, Nez Nation. How in the world are you? It's another Sunday. So you know what that means. It is time for the show. Office hours with yours truly, Professor Nez. It's so great to see you guys. Come on in, come on in. Make sure you share this out. How many French Open fans do we have out there? How many people actually watched the French Open recently? Any tennis fans out there? That's kind of my favorite sport. I mean, I'm not super into, I don't have time to watch and follow all this stuff. But yeah, Rafael Nadal just got his 20th Grand Slam, his 13th French Open, probably the most dominant performance at any event in any sport since maybe Michael Jordan. I don't know. Maybe even more dominant than that. Pretty phenomenal. Pretty phenomenal stuff. But this is a show where you can ask me anything. If you're new to who I am Professor Nez. I am your personal branding coach, executive career coach, online business strategist. I help people, individuals, and businesses brand themselves online. And we also talk a lot about, mindset and the things that are getting in your way, besides just tactical things and, specifics related to actual best practices and strategies. And so it's a really beautiful, fun show. It's so great to see you guys. Make sure that you share this out. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Sweeney Dunstan in the house. It's time to bring more humanness to this digitalness. Absolutely. Please make sure you don't forget to give us a like, tap that button, give us some hearts. Big John in the house. Good to see you, Big John. McAllen, how are you? Good morning on Periscope. Great to see you. Thank you so much. I wonder if you... McAllen came to me from Chris. Chris actually got some value out of some of my advice in a piece of content, a video that I put out about how to get LinkedIn Live. How's that going, brother? I hope you're following suit, and I hope you're doing really, really well. You're going to get LinkedIn Live. I know it very, very shortly. LinkedIn, if you're watching and listening, give this dude LinkedIn Live. He deserves it. Charlie Dog in the house. Now we can start. Now we can start because Charlie Dog is here. How you doing, Charlie? Midnight Madness, good to see you. Please make sure, if you don't mind, I would love it if you could share this out because sharing is caring, and make sure that you smash that smash button, aka that like button. I would really, really appreciate it. That would mean the world to me. But I'm so excited to see you guys. So grateful. We love doing this show. We also put this on our podcast. Some of you guys are listening to this right now on our podcast. You want to make sure that you go check out our podcast. And before we get going, thank you so much. The Learning Hub on LinkedIn already has a question. Great to see you, Learning Hub. I'm gonna answer that question very specifically right now. Seti in the house. Good to see you. Awesome, McAllen. McAllen says, this week I will start the mission. Fantastic. I give you nothing but the best. And I promise you, if you follow that, you should be all set. You should be all good. LinkedIn is looking for people to implement and deploy their tools and their trinkets, and LinkedIn Live is their hottest product right now. So definitely, I see good things in your future, sir. Thank you so much. Before I get cooking, a couple of things I just want to say. And then I'm going to get to your question, the Learning Hub. Leave your questions in the comments down below. I'm going to answer all your questions. Advancing your career, mindset, messaging, branding, how to start and grow your own online business, how to build your online reputation and bring clients, customers, leads, employers to you. I'm living proof that this stuff works. We are still holding our contest, and I posted a couple of those coaching calls on my YouTube channel. I'll leave the playlists in the description down below, but we're still leaving that contest open, where if you want to get a free coaching session with yours truly, we're doing this online mentoring program. Some of you guys already know this, but I just want to share this again in case some of you don't. If you want to get a free coaching call with yours truly, there's one way to do it, and it's the contest that we've been running for about 6 to 8 weeks now, and I've already published a couple of the winners, on my channel. And this playlist, by the way, these personal branding coaching calls are amazing. It's one-on-one with somebody just like you, an entrepreneur, a professional, an executive, a content creator who gets advice from me on how to basically solve their problem. And so if you want to get a free coaching call from yours truly, here's what you got to do. It's very, very simple. You just go to Apple Podcasts, go to our Personal Branding 101 Livestream podcast, write us a review, screenshot that review. It better be 5 stars too, for the love of God. How could it not be 5 stars? And then just share that on social, tag me, Professor Nez, use the hashtag NezNation, screenshot that review that you did on Apple. It has to be on Apple because that's where it really has the most value for us. Even if you're on Spotify, we are on Spotify and all these other platforms. Share that, tag me in it, and you automatically enter. We pick a random winner. So very, very simple, very, very easy, and I want to try to provide as much help, as much I want to offer my service to everybody and anyone as much as humanly possible. And so that's your way to do that. That's if you want to join and get a free coaching call, please make sure that you do that. Okay, let's get into some of the questions. And by the way, if you're just joining us, you are watching Office Hours with yours truly. This is a show where we go live every single Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where you can ask me any question you want and get it answered. And we're very, very excited to have everybody here. So cool. So Learning Hub asks, how to get leads for mechanical engineering courses I'm teaching on Udemy. Okay, so this is a pretty big question, and how many people? Let me know in the chat if you're watching or listening to this on the replay. You can always come back and leave comments. We're live on YouTube, LinkedIn, my Facebook business page, Twitter, aka Periscope, and my Twitch channel. And so let me know also how it's coming through. It's so great to see you guys. Please make sure you share this out. So this is a really great question. So there's a couple of ways to answer this, and thank you so much for asking this, Learning Hub, because I think a lot of people are going to understand and get a lot of value from this. One of the best ways for you to earn money online is to monetize your expertise. And a way to do that where you don't have to trade your time for money is by creating these info products, aka digital products. I mean, they can be physical products too, but ebooks, PDFs, guides, courses, right? These are really, really profitable, and these are fantastic ways to do this. The way that I think is smarter to do is to really make sure that you own your IP, right? That you own your own product. Udemy is a great place if you're just starting out because it's such a huge marketplace. And I'm going to talk to you specifically. I just want to give you this macro view first, Learning Hub. Hey, great to see you, George Fisher. How are you, George? Make sure you smash that like button, and please make sure you share that out. I'd really, really appreciate it. And so Udemy and Skillshare and all these other places are great marketplaces because they've got this huge engine behind getting your courses out there. But the problem is you don't have any access to the audience. You can't email your audience. You can't build an email list. You can only communicate with them through through the actual platform. And they have a tendency, I have a couple courses on Udemy. They have a tendency to, and it's a great way to earn passive income, especially if you're just starting out. But they have a tendency to mark your courses down significantly. And so turning that into a real kind of business, it looks like you've branded yourself as the Learning Hub. So I'm going to go ahead, and if you're still here, let me know, Learning Hub. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that you're attempting to build a business around this. If you're attempting to build a business around this, and it looks like your branding is great, I love Learning Hub. I like your logo there. That's fantastic. You may want to think about doing it in a strategic way, by owning your own IP, okay, your own intellectual property, and building out your platform, building out your presence, using ways in which you can actually you can actually own your audience versus just handing over your product to Udemy and Skillshare, and just allowing them to do whatever they want. Again, this is a great way for you to just kind of get started. If you're just getting started, this is a great way to do it. And you can kind of get your feet wet, and it's also a way just to kind of say that you did it. You created a digital course, you created a product. It's a cool accomplishment. It's a way of building your brand. It's a way of building your expertise, and you're establishing your thought leadership. But it's not a very viable way to turn it into a business. The way that you want to do it, at least for me and from my experience, because believe me, I mean, I'm a professor. I still teach at some of the universities here in Southern California, part-time, very, very part-time. I mean, I focus on my businesses, but that's the sort of overview. That's the macro overview, Learning Hub. The real way to do it is to really focus on what is going to be the best way, because let me talk about just tactics for a second. What is going to be the best way to orchestrate your modules, to organize your course, where the end user, aka your audience, will get the most help and the most out of it, right? That's really, really important. And so beyond all the marketing and beyond owning your audience and beyond all that stuff, it's very, very important that you focus on high quality modules that's well organized, because people pay for convenience. People are willing to pay big bucks for convenience. I had this happen all the time. And by the way, this is a great segue. Learning Hub, thank you so much, because our original sponsor of the show is BeyondTheBoxAcademy.com. That is the ultimate online academy where you can get hand-holding courses. We're talking, step by step, very informative, helping you to build your brand, make money with your brand, advance your career, grow your business. Go to BeyondTheBoxAcademy.com. So thank you, Learning Hub, for that. But I get this question all the time. Hey, Neil, good to see you. Neil is in the house. Luis in the house. The mods are here. The mods are here. Great to see you. Learning Hub says he's still here. Okay, let me go back to your question. So I get people saying this all the time, that, what's the point of building a digital course when they can get all that information for free, just by searching YouTube or on Google? And you're absolutely right. They can get all that information for free by searching on Google and searching on YouTube. But people, don't ever forget this. I'm not the only person who's done this. There's tons of entrepreneurs out there and course creators and online business owners who have made a ton. I'm not saying small, a ton of money by building a business around digital info products, aka courses. And so people will pay for convenience. Yes, they can get all that information for free by searching YouTube and going all over the place, but the time is more important to these people. You can spend 8 hours, searching and going through everything, or just pay for the convenience of having it all in one place where it's only an hour long. So time is money, and you can't get a refund on your time. People are willing to pay for convenience. If you create a high-quality info product, a high-quality course that is designed specifically to solve your target audience's problem, you will win. I would advise you to just have Udemy and Skillshare be your testing grounds, if you will. And there's nothing wrong with having a presence there, but I would advise you to own your audience. And so my academy, BeyondTheBoxAcademy.com, is on Teachable, right? And so I have my own platform. I get to communicate with my audiences. I get to email them. I get to talk to them, help them, give them that personal kind of attention. The best way to get leads and the best way to get people to gain interest in your courses is to first make sure that you have an idea that's worth, that there's, you need to do some market research. Because I don't want you to have to, spend weeks and weeks and months building a course that nobody wants. So validate the idea. Make sure that this is something that the marketplace wants first. And there's ways in which you can actually start getting, students even before you start building, right? Like one way you can do that is to say, hey, if I build this course, about, how to cook, on a small budget, would that be something that interests you? If 15 people sign up, I will have the course ready in 4 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that. You can actually start that way. I would say that's a really great way to start. And if you've established your credibility, if you've established your expertise in that specific niche, the sky's the limit. I mean, you could do that full time. I mean, there's tons of people who do that full time. You're absolutely welcome, sir. I hope that was helpful. There's nothing wrong with Udemy and Skillshare and all these other places. There's nothing wrong with getting your feet wet, so to speak. And these are great marketplaces. You could have like kind of the only reason that I say that it's not a place to build your main hub is because of the reasons that I stated, but also there's nothing wrong with building like a lower tier or intro kind of type of course on there just to get your feet wet. Because it is a marketplace and it's really passive income. I mean, I'm earning a couple $100s a month with maybe even more than that. I can't even remember, with just courses that I created 5 years ago. And these were just small. And if you're a content creator, if you're a video creator, which most of you guys are coming from YouTube and Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, a lot of you guys know that you have the skills to create these info products. But I guarantee you the number one thing stopping you is, and correct me if I'm wrong, somebody let me know in the chat if you can relate to this. I guarantee you that most people, the number one thing that's stopping you is, why should I build a course? Why should I build an info product like this when all this information is free? You can just listen to podcasts. You can search YouTube. You can search Google. How many people have felt that before? How many people can relate to that before? Let me know if that makes sense at all, because I know a lot of you guys have that mindset, that blockade or internal barrier that is stopping you from actually making money online. You guys, there's 1,000,006 ways to do what you love, to monetize your expertise and not have to do something that you absolutely abhor or hate. Making money online has never been more viable. Like my man Craig Bernie Burns says, we're living in the golden age of opportunity. If you're pissed off, frustrated, stressed out, need money, hate your job, can't find a job, there's never been a better time, especially now that brick and mortar is basically obsolete. I mean, we see cases now rising in Italy again. They're even talking about another lockdown. We've got, I think, 15 states here in the United States, America, that are seeing record-breaking cases rising again. We might not see each other in person for the foreseeable future. We might not. I just got a memory of a Vid Summit on my Facebook. You guys get these memories on Facebook. Elizabeth Fisher in the house. So good to see you. Elizabeth says, so true. Saving people time is key. I started adding grocery shopping and meal prepping to my health and wellness coaching, and people are paying me for something I love and I'm already doing. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for proving and validating. Please make sure that you hit that like button and that you share this out. I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. The Fisher family is in the house. It's so great to see you guys. And that is awesome. Congratulations. And so I really love that. Congratulations. Fantastic. That is definitely a limited belief, yes, that I have when putting together a course. And you're not alone. Everybody does. Everybody has a limiting belief. But you got to understand, time is probably the most time is probably the most valuable commodity anybody has now. I mean, guys, it's almost 2021. Do you realize that? Do you sometimes wake up and just go, what in the world happened in the last 3 years? How is it not still 2018? How are we almost in 2021? I mean, I'm going to turn 44 in December, December 27th. And I just like, we're going so fast now. My kids are getting older right now. Everything is going so rocket fast, faster than I've ever experienced life. Your time is very, very valuable to you. And how you spend that time, how you allocate time management is something that's probably really underutilized. Time management is something that most people are not good at. And you got to understand that, before you know it, if you don't know how to really organize and manage your time wisely and get the information you need quickly and faster, you're going to wake up and be 90 tomorrow. And so people will pay for convenience. I need this information fast. And especially if you price your course accurately. And here's another thing that happens. I'm so glad we're talking about course creation. I'm so glad we're talking about this. Here's another thing. Just Samson in the house. Yo, what's up, Just Samson? How are you? Great to see you. Dropping a hello from the beach. Thank you so much, brother. That is fantastic. I hope you're doing really, really well. What beach are you at, Just Samson? Are you in Cali or are you on the East Coast? I can't remember. Great to see you, Just Samson. Thank you so much for being here. What was I saying? Here's another thing. Yeah. So here's another thing too that I know. I'm so glad we're talking about this when it comes to course creation. Here's another thing that stops a lot of course creators, okay, to actually make this into a viable business, is they feel like, well, who would want to listen to me? Why? What do I have to offer? There's already a ton of courses out there on this or on that, but nobody can deliver it the way that you deliver it. Nobody can deliver it the way that you can. Nobody can execute it the way that you can. Maybe similar, but not exactly like you. And there's a lot of people out there who would love your energy. There's a lot of people out there who would actually prefer, right? Prefer. Oh, and I was talking about pricing. Pricing is important. I see people who work. This is what I was really getting at. Tom Nash in the house. How you doing, Tom Nash? Good to see you. Please make sure you smash and share. This is another thing that people, and please leave your questions. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments down below. I love this topic because this is a viable business. This is a way for you to not only actually inspire, help, shape people and transform people's lives, but make really good money while you do it. People are willing to pay good money to learn how to transform their lives, whether you're an expert in finance, project management, culinary arts. I had a client the other day who was an expert in decluttering and organizing space. They're creating courses now and they're killing it. They're crushing it. There's so many opportunities, and pricing. This is really important. How many people have a problem, or how many people are a little bit reticent to kind of price their courses accordingly? I would say one of the most common problems that people face when they're building out a course is that they underprice it. They undervalue themselves because of those mindset barriers that I was just talking about. Well, they can get all this information everywhere else. There's a lot of free information that's just as good as this. Who am I? Why should I? Why would anybody pay or listen to me? I'll just price this for $25. No, wrong. No, I see this all the time. I'm like, dude, you just put in 6 months into building this thing and you're going to charge $59? I'll never forget this. A lot of you guys know that I still teach at the university. It's very, very part-time because I love it, and the pay is crap, but I love teaching. I had a student once. It was a business writing class. I had a student once, and Learning Hub, if you're still here, this totally relates to you. I think I had it on Udemy. This was like 10 years ago. I can't even remember. And yeah, absolutely. That's so true, Tom Nash. Sweeney, I didn't know what you meant by not me. My biggest thing is my shift job. Talk to me a little bit more about that. Expand on that. I'd like to understand that a little bit better. By the way, Collaboration City. Yo, Sweeney, when is that video going to drop? Because Sweeney and I just did a collaboration, I think with D. Niman too. Is that incorrect? I hope I'm not spoiling this or blowing your kind of presentation of this, but I know that I'm very, very excited about that. I was invited. I'm so humbled and honored. I was invited to collaborate with Sweeney Dunstan on a video about kind of creator burnout and the realness of that and how to overcome that. And it was just fantastic. I had such a good time, and I hope you got a lot from that. But let me know when that's coming out. Bush 1900, where have you been, bro? Bush Knight, if you are a bro. I don't know if you are a bro, but I apologize if you're not a bro. Good to see you, Bush 1900. How are you? Please make sure that you share this out and make sure that you obliterate that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, now the show has officially begun because KD, scrumptiously, deliciously, edibly KD, Kenneth Dunner Jr. How in the world are you, sir? I hope you're doing really well. I got to say something about Kenneth Dunner really quickly. KD is one of the most positive, uplifting. He really exemplifies our Nez Nation motto, which is bringing more humanness to this digitalness. You know, I would rather inspire than teach any day of the week. I don't believe in teaching, even in the purest form of what that means, or the definition of teaching. Which is to instruct one, right, in a specific manner, art. I believe in inspiration. And what inspires is you coming to a community and contributing rather than detracting, uplifting rather than promoting, participating rather than dominating. And Kenneth Dunner, I mean, you look at all these people, Just Sampson, Tom Nash, Bush, Sweeney, Neil, Chaladog, the Fishers. We got just such an amazing group of Nez Nation online community here, this awesome family, which I just absolutely love. Bringing more humanness to this digitalness. We come together and we inspire and we help each other. It's not just me. We've got an amazing list of content creators, business owners, humans, right? Professionals, executives, podcasters, live streamers. It's endless. It's just absolutely endless. And I just want to say such a note of gratitude. I'm just so grateful for all you guys. It's just fantastic. You really pump me up. Absolutely pump me up. Spoilers. Okay, Sweeney says video drop and schedule unknown at this time. Sweeney says, my job takes too much time from me. Yeah. And you know, it's interesting because, not a lot of us have the luxury to spend time on what we want to do outside of our 9 to 5. And I'm the first person on planet Earth that will say, do not quit your 9 to 5. Even if you hate it, do not quit your 9 to 5. I see this all the time. If you work 9 to 5, you're a loser. If you work 9 to 5, it's like, what is wrong with you? What are you telling people, man? What are you telling people? Don't quit your 9 to 5. Just make sure that you have something outside of that, because a lot of us have a mortgage, we have kids, we got bills, we got wives, we got husbands, we got, we got to put food on the table. We don't have the luxury to just quit our 9 to 5. And there's nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5. You're working. Do you know how many people are out of work right now? Do you know how many millions and millions of people, and that's just in the U.S., I can't even imagine worldwide, are out of work? Even if you hate your 9 to 5, what I'm trying to say, but when I say the golden age of opportunity, and it just depends on how bad you want it, because look, I'm living proof that this stuff works. I'm living proof that you can earn a full-time income online by doing what you love and helping people with your special uniqueness, okay? And let me take out the word special, just with your uniqueness, okay? Because, special can get a little bit fluffy, and I don't want to get fluffy. I like to be very practical, anchored in reality solutions and advice here on Nez Nation Live. By the way, if you're just joining us, I don't know if you are just joining us, but you are watching Office Hours with yours truly, Professor Nez. This is a show where you can ask me anything. You want to advance your career? You want to heighten your mindset? You want to maybe start and grow your own online business? Well, welcome to Office Hours. We go live every single Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Daniel Alleghi, my Swedish sorcerer. How are you, sir? Great to see you, Daniel. Daniel is an amazing member of the Nez Nation family, cinematography buff, film buff, movie. I mean, you're doing so much stuff, Daniel, and let the audience know. It's so great to see you. Ha! There's Matthew Mitchell. How are you, Matthew Mitchell? Great to see you. Bush says, I can't, I know you don't have time, but one of these would be great to start the day every day. Yeah, you know what? It's interesting. I know there's a lot of people who are doing this, and which I give kudos to them. You know, Pat Flynn comes to mind. I mean, I think he's done. Just Samson, how many has he done? Like 6,000 in a row now? Yeah, and this is important. I'm glad you brought this up, Bush. I want to leave your comment up. We can get into this game, and I want to get back to pricing. I did not forget. I know what you're thinking, Nez. You were on a tangent. You went on another tangent. Keep me on point, mods. I'm going to come back to pricing your course in a second. And by the way, leave your questions in the comments down below. Consistency, right? Not quitting your 9 to 5, but how bad do you want it? Instead of, sacrificing your time for video games or watching, the newest Netflix special, why don't you spend that time working on building something that you can eventually leave your 9 to 5 if you want to? I'm not a believer in saying, quit. I don't think you should quit. I have to sneeze. Hold on. Bless me. You see how professional I am? I muted my microphone so you guys don't have to hear it. This is really important, though. I want to mention this because this is huge. How badly do you want it? I would stay up very, very late at night. I would work weekends, and I had a family too. I would, I sacrificed time hanging out with my friends, going out to bars, restaurants, going out, what have you, to really work really hard. And I'm not saying that you have to sacrifice everything, but it really depends on how bad you want it. And so consistency is very, very key. And Bush, I would love to start a live stream where I go live every single day. If I could, it's just not feasible for me. And this is what I was going to allude to when it comes to consistency. Consistency is key for creating and establishing your brand, your online presence, your digital footprint. But don't compare your consistency to other people's, right? It has to be consistency that is reasonable, logical, and feasible for you, for your, kind of life balance. You got to have, a sense of that, and also just what's feasible for you practically. If you can't do it every single day, you don't have to. Don't feel bad that you can't. I would love to, Bush, and who knows, maybe someday I will. But what I would say is embrace the consistency that works best for you. That's what the key is. Embrace the consistency that would work better for you. There's Tommy Pavia. For the love of God, where you been, Tommy? For the love of God, Tommy Pavia. Great to see. Yeah, I finally got a haircut. My hair was getting way too 1977. And I finally got a haircut. I feel like my head can breathe. Thank you so much, Tommy. Tommy, we look a lot alike now. We could be brothers, Tommy Pavia. We practically are brothers. Good to see you, man. Okay, pricing. Don't price your courses at $59, especially if it's a 3-hour course. Look at the research. Look at the marketplace. I guarantee you your $25 course is being sold for $2,000, $1,900, or even $997 by other individuals just like you. People are willing to pay for convenience. And don't be afraid, too, if you get a couple of people who are like, hey, you know what, Nez? I love your course. It's a little bit too high. Are you willing to give me any wiggle room there? I'm willing to bring in my brother and my sister. Okay, let's talk about it. This is how running a business is. It's adaptation. Adaptation times infinity. And so, don't be afraid to work things out, just to get those first couple of sales, just to get your kind of some momentum. Momentum is very, very big in any endeavor that you go upon, but don't price it accordingly. I would say anything less than $200 for a 3-hour, 200 course is a travesty. It's a travesty. But again, how do you price things? Well, look at the market. What are the average dollar amounts that the courses similar to yours are going for? And then look to see like what kind of quality, what kind of value are those courses bringing? Are you anywhere near that? Maybe you're better than that. Then charge more. I think this is one of the biggest things that online business owners face, especially when you're first starting out, is pricing your goods and services, and you undervalue yourself. Nobody is going to value you. Nobody is going to value you if you don't value yourself. Nobody is. Nobody is going to bestow value on you automatically. You have to really show them that you deserve that. And if you put in the time, energy, work, your passion into this project, price that accordingly, because this is what I was going to say. And I'm coming back to this. Thank you so much, Just Samson. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, 1977. A lot of you weren't born yet. And this is what I was going to say. So I was sitting in my class. This was a long time ago. And I priced a course because, look, everything that I talk about, I've gone through. I'm not just spouting this stuff off randomly. Everything I talk about on this show is something I've gone through, okay? I've got my own online business, my own academy. I've got my own agency where we help individuals and businesses brand themselves online. Everything, I practice what I preach. Everything I'm telling you, okay? And so I remember sitting in class right here locally. I was teaching at one of the local universities here. I think it was Brandman University, and which is a sister school of Chapman. And I remember sitting in class, and I kind of built a rapport with a couple of these students. And class was over, and they kind of stuck around and hung out. And sometimes my students will just hang out and just ask me questions and just want to shoot the you know. And I remember saying, "Hey, what do you guys think of this?" I wanted to get their advice. I said, "Would you buy a course like this, priced like this?" And I think I had it priced at some ridiculous price. I think it was like $45 or something. And I'll never forget what one of these students said. I think his name was Michael. I might have forgotten. Michael, if you're out there, this is kudos to you. He said to me, $45. He was like, if somebody charged me $45 for something like that, I'd be like, what's the point? It's not even worth it to me. It sounds like it's, it's not even worth investing in. And I said, well, what would be worth the investment for you? And he said, if it was 200 or 300, I'd be like, okay, this is something that I need to take seriously, or maybe I need to look at this closely, and I would invest in that. And what the point of what I'm trying to say is that because so many of us undervalue ourselves, what we don't realize is that we're actually not listening to our audience by pricing our courses and our products so low. That audience actually puts value on, that kind of level or gradation of monetary value. And so he taught me that, like, if I saw something like that was $45, $59, I would think Walmart. But if it was priced higher, $200, $197, or $397, then I'm starting to think like, wow, okay, this is going to be something high quality. This is something that maybe is worth my time, worth investing in. And by investing that amount into it, they're going to be more inspired to really take it seriously. They have skin in the game and follow through on executing on the modules and be more committed to the process, which if you do what I said, Learning Hub, if you're still here, if you do what I said by building your own platform, there's nothing wrong with Udemy and Skillshare, but building your own platform, then you can really create that relationship. And relationships are everything in your business. They're everything in your business. I still, to this day, I run paid advertising, and obviously I do content marketing all the time. But I still, my number one pipeline for my number one revenue resource is referrals. It's my number one. And I think the reason I get so many referrals is because I smother my clients and customers with service-oriented, customer-centric, people-oriented. I give them everything. I give them my best. I make them feel very genuinely that I care about their success, and I show them that. I don't just say that; I demonstrate that. And so that's why I think that hopefully that helps when it comes to pricing. It's very, very important. Anybody else have any other questions? And let me know how many of you are like, hey, Nez, I've been thinking about building courses. I've been actually thinking about building digital products. I've been thinking about monetizing my expertise, monetizing my uniqueness. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much, Kenneth Dunner Jr. These are the nuggets of Professor Nez that are so damn scrumptiously, deliciously, edibly tasty good. KD in the house. So good to see you, KD. Bush 1900 says, one of the things I do in my business is build links. The link building method that onlinecoursereview.org did get an image link on your homepage is masterful. I wish I had that link. LOL. Very cool. Thank you so much, Bush 1900. I didn't know that about you. I didn't know that you build links. That's very, very cool. Matthew Mitchell says, I've thought about pricing it higher than a 9-to-5 job because it could take longer than a 9-to-5 job. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing is you want to make sure that you start with validating that idea, right? Making sure that it's worth the energy and time. Creating a course, I've said this before, YouTube is hard. Creating content is very, very hard, right? And you don't want to spend months and months and weeks building something that nobody cares about, that nobody's going to watch or nobody's going to purchase, right? So it's really, really important that you start with going to your community, doing a lot of research, market research, finding out what people need, what people serve. If you want to start a business, or actually, this relates to even advancing your career. If you want to start a business or get a promotion or get a raise or get hired, you have to be a problem solver. You have to think about this formula. And it's not a formula that is just theory. It's an executional, experiential formula. What do I possess? Think about this for you, Nez Nation. What do I possess? What unique quality, unique trait that I excel at will help people, individuals, businesses solve their problem? What can I bring to the table that will solve problems? Okay, maybe that specialty is marketing. Maybe you're a great marketer. Maybe you're a great organizational leader. Maybe you're a great salesperson. Maybe you're a fantastic technological professional. You can help people solve their technical issues. Maybe you're a great, maybe you're a great fitness. Fitness is your specialty. You really know how to help people solve their fitness problems. So identify that. Identify what is that unique trait that you can exploit to the service of others. Very, very important. What is that unique trait that you can exploit for the service of others? And then identify who would be interested in that and start building through marketing, content marketing, maybe even paid advertising, dare I say. You have to invest if you want to build a business. Start with content marketing. Start with actually organic reach, but start building that interest before you spend hours and hours, because it's not easy building a course. None of this stuff is easy, right? I talk about passive income sometimes, but it's anything but passive. There's nothing passive about passive income. You can create automated systems that will make money for you while you sleep, which is so awesome, but it takes a ton of work to get those systems in place. I hope that makes sense. Very, very important. Yes, Tommy. Yes, absolutely. And this industry is booming, by the way. I mean, it's like a $10 billion a year industry, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. And look, now that COVID and now that remote work and now that all this stuff is becoming more and more viable and feasible, it's absolutely essential. And this is a great opportunity. This is a great opportunity to do that. Oh, that's so cool, Bush 1900. I love that. That's absolutely fantastic. KD, we want some of that special sauce. This moon, you want some of this moon juice, KD? You don't want none of this. You don't want none of this special sauce. This might just bust your brains out. You don't want that stuff. Thank you so much, Tommy Nash. What did I give amazing advice for a while ago? I have no idea. It's so great to see you, man. Thank you so much. About not being able to get 100% likability from viewers. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no. You don't, there's, it's impossible, right? This is another reason why people don't put themselves out there. I mean, look at this dude who went viral on TikTok. I mean, this is a perfect example. As soon as my wife showed me this, my wife is on TikTok, and she watches TikTok. She consumes TikTok, and I've been kind of recently playing. It's fun. It's one of the most fun platforms out there. How many people are on TikTok, or how many people enjoy TikTok? Leave me a hashtag TikTok in the chat, or a hashtag yes. Actually, make it simpler. Give me a hashtag yes in the chat down below if you consume TikTok, you watch TikTok, you create on TikTok, or you like TikTok. It's a very, very fun platform. I love it. I think it's fantastic. How many people know about the viral video, the dude on the skateboard with the cranberry juice? If you don't know that, where have you been living? Have you been living in a cave in the Sahara Desert for the past 2-3 weeks? I mean, this guy who actually, was struggling, right? Struggling with money, struggling with his family. I think his mom was sick or something like that. I can't remember. And he puts out this video on TikTok. Literally, it was like 15 seconds long, 20 seconds long or something. And I'm Professor Nez on all platforms. I'm Professor Nez on TikTok as well. Literally, it went viral. I think it's got almost 30 million views now. It's just insane. And the video is just him on a skateboard, right? People are baffled by this. People are like completely bamboozled by this. They cannot believe. I even see like the level of hate that I see for this dude on Twitter and other places, and really from mainstream media. I remember watching some news show and they were like, I don't understand. Is this what our world's come to? How could this guy get a new car from Ocean Spray? Or how could he get all these deals? Or now he's got, people are buying him things, and he's able to buy his mom a house just because of a video he was, listening to Fleetwood Mac, drinking cranberry juice. I mean, they're baffled by this. But here's the awesome thing. Let me just please clarify. This is what I keep talking about every single week. This is what I keep talking about in my channel. This is what Tom Nash is talking about when it comes to likability. You don't have to please anybody. You shouldn't try to please anybody. You don't have to worry about these people, that people. Do I need to be like them? Do I need to be like her? Do I need to be like him? The comparison game. Just putting yourself out there, expressing yourself, your creativity. People don't buy your credentials. They don't do business with buildings or logos or degrees or pieces of paper. People hire your energy. People do business with people. People hire people. Okay, I don't care how many degrees you have. I don't care how many certificates you have. I don't care that you went to Harvard or Baylor or Brandeis or NYU or USC. I don't care. Who are you? What's your vibe? And that video, I think his name is Apodaca. I can't remember. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong what that dude's name is. He just put himself out there, and he put out a beautiful video that was such a breath of fresh air with all the crap and stuff that the media is shoving down our throat, the fear-mongering that the mainstream media is shoving down our throat. He just put himself out there. Nobody knows you exist. You don't exist. You're a ghost until you share your story with the world. You're just another human being, another individual through the hallways and byways of life. Another person I see at a stoplight that I glance at for 1.2 seconds, and then you're gone. You don't exist to me until you share your story. You can't earn more. You can't grow smarter and faster. You can't establish your online presence, do what you love, until you share your story. You can't get that promotion. You're not going to get hired until you share your story in a compelling, unique, raw, authentic way. What I love about TikTok that's different from Instagram, because Instagram is very coconuts and yachts, very almost artificial in a lot of ways. is that stuff doesn't fly on TikTok, as my wife says. TikTok embraces authenticity better than any other platform I've seen. And this TikTok ain't going nowhere. And it's fun and it's fast and it's going to get bigger and bigger. And you don't have to do what other people do on TikTok. I see a lot of businesses and brands establishing their presence there, right? I mean, this dude, he's got deals now. He's got brand deals with all these different companies just based on that one video. Has 30 million views. And I'll tell you exactly why it went viral. Because he was just being capital R real, and he was putting himself out there. Most of us are afraid to put ourselves out there. Most of us think that it's not, what's the point of putting myself out there? There's so much noise. There's so much this. But there's nobody like you in the history of mankind. You got to embrace this, Nez Nation. You have to heed this. You've got to absolutely understand this capital T truth. Yes, there's a lot of noise. Yes, there's a lot of saturation. Yes, there's a billion people online, but there's nobody, chromosome for chromosome, molecule for molecule, just like you. In the history of mankind, in the history of the universe. There's nobody that's ever going to be exactly like Nez in the history of the universe, in the history of mankind. My wife would say, thank God. Think about that, y'all. Think about that. Very, very important. Yes, absolutely, Kenneth. Okay, Bush 1900, so great to see you, has a random question. By the way, before I get to that, just in case you're just joining us, I don't know if you know this, but you're watching Office Hours with yours truly, Professor Nez. This is a show where we go live every single Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where you can ask me anything. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, we're live on LinkedIn, we're live on Periscope, we're live on Twitch. And I hope to see you guys here every single Sunday. Make sure you share this out. And how many of you have actually smashed the smasher? Have we smashed the smasher yet, guys? I want to see that. I want to see that like count go way up. I want to see that like count go way up. Let me know if what I just said about TikTok, I'm going to get to your question, Bush 1900. Let me know if what I just said makes any sense at all. Because, I mean, I believe in this more than anything. This is my entire platform. This is my entire advocacy. And my mission statement is storytelling, right? It starts with mindset. You've got to get yourself out of your own way. You've got to stop being your own worst enemy. But then messaging, crafting a compelling message, which is not artificial and not gaming the system, but crafting a message that really embodies your uniqueness, really embodies who you are. And it's capital R real. That's what Apodaca shared. I mean, it's just absolutely, it's amazing. Almost 30 million views. It's unbelievable what that individual has done. Let me know in the chat if that makes sense. Give me a thumbs up emoji in the chat, or just give me a hashtag yes, that made sense. If it didn't, I'm happy to explain that. I'm going to get to your question, Bush 1900. I'm going to get to your question. Okay, so Bush 1900 has a question. He says, here's a random question. Do you have any advice for emailing or calling people to ask them to be a guest on a podcast? Has someone convinced you to be a guest on their podcast before? This is a fantastic question, and I've answered this before, and I'm happy to answer it again. This is a great question, Bush 1900. I love that you asked this. I actually have a video called The Biggest Mistakes That Livestream Talk Show Hosts Make and How to Avoid Them. And I would say, let me start with how not to ask somebody. Okay, because this is big. And I had Chris Brogan on recently, who his backpack show is just blowing up. He's got an amazing live stream show. I can't believe I have to sneeze again. I haven't sneezed in 7 years. And all of a sudden, as soon as I go live, excuse me. Must be the dust. We still have a leak in our house, and we're still getting reconstruction, getting rebuilt. Here's how you don't ask for somebody to be on your podcast. This is going to get an automatic no from me. Professor Nez, can you fill out this form and then can you write us 2 paragraphs about why you'd be a good fit for the show? And then can you also write us 6 takeaways that people can get from, no, bye, see you later. When you invite somebody to be on your podcast and on your show, be a human being. Do your own research. Don't make your guest do homework. Don't make your guest fill out a 7-page questionnaire and write 10 paragraphs. I would never do that. And I guarantee you ask any other professional out there, they will say no faster than a speeding bullet. They'll say no in a heartbeat. That's how you don't ask for somebody to be on a podcast show or be an interview guest. That's the number one way you do not ask, okay? Just be human. Hey, Bush, this is our show. I'd love to invite you on to be a guest. I'd love for you to talk about, your book or something that you got going on. We'd love to just hang out and chat. We go live. Here's a link to a show if you want to get a taste. Let me know if you're interested. That's how you do it. You just be human. That's all you got to do. If you're asking somebody to be on your show, you should be doing your own due diligence. Why are you asking me to be on your show? And then you're asking me to fill out an essay and write an essay as to why I should be on the show. And I think the reason that people do this is for 2 reasons. Number one, they want to kind of sort of appear to be professional, but what it does is it just creates friction. Look, you want your marketing campaigns, you want your emails, you want your content, you want your resume, you want your LinkedIn profile. You need to create a frictionless environment. What does that mean? Create 0 friction for the end user. Make it simple, concise, fast, so that your end user can get to it quickly. I also consult on websites for e-commerce, and it blows me away how many people on their homepage, they've got 50 pop-ups, they've got no contact information, they don't even have their products on their homepage, and it's just their about page and the picture of their family and a huge, paragraph or essay on why they started their business. Nobody cares. They may care eventually, but nobody cares initially. They want to know who you are, what's in it for them, and how can you solve my problem. It's that simple. So that's the fastest way to get a no from me, and I think Chris Brogan agreed with that too, is don't make me fill out a bunch of stuff and don't make me write a bunch of stuff. Don't make me do homework to be on your show. Makes no sense at all. Hey, Anthony, good to see you. Anthony Nowak, good to see you, brother. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Kenneth Dunner says, #yes. Does that make sense, Bush 1900? I hope it does. I hope it does. Stephen Murrow in the house. Talk about an amazing business owner. Great to see you, Stephen. How are you, sir? Thank you so much. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and it's on my YouTube channel. And you know what? I'll go ahead and try and share that in the chat. Let me see here. Yeah, let me actually share that in the chat. It's a fantastic video because I think it's going to really, really help you out and help everybody out. And so I'll definitely leave a link to that in the chat. And so, yeah, I think that it's basically called How to Become a Great Talk Show Host. Okay, here it is right here. I'm going to share the link in just a second. So the name of it is 3 mistakes to avoid, 3 essential mistakes to avoid. And I'm going to leave that in the chat right here. And so that should get to you. If you can't see that link right there, Bush 1900, let me know. Hey, Gabby, how are you, Gabby? Good to see you. Fantastic. Welcome to Nez Nation Live. If you're just joining us, this is Nez Nation Live, where we go live every single Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Time, every Sunday. And I answer all your questions: how to advance your career, how to establish your online presence, how to start and grow your online business, how to overcome overthinking, and how to overcome your own worst enemy who lives inside your head. That is what this show is all about. It's so great to see you, Gabby. Welcome to the show. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat down below. We usually go live for about an hour, and I've already hit the hour mark, but I sometimes like to go over. So if you have any questions or anything like that, and please make sure you hit that like button. and share this with your tribe, share this with your audience. It would really mean a lot to me. We want to get as many people in here as possible, as many people who can get as much value as possible from this show. We also have a podcast. Those of you guys who are like me, who love listening to podcasts at home, in the car, walking the dog, on the treadmill, this show, we go live on Sundays, and then it goes live on our podcast a few days later, if not a day later. And so we're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on Google Podcasts, and that's what it looks like right there on the podcasts. And so we've got the #1 personal branding podcast on Apple. #1, over 100 plus 5-star reviews. And so make sure that you go check that out, and make sure that you go subscribe to the podcast. I'll leave links, and I'll leave information to that in the description down below. So very, very powerful. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Okay, great, Bush. Watch that video religiously. It will help you, I promise. Gabby says, I'm watching from Cape Town, South Africa. Welcome. Welcome, Cape Town. So great to have you with us, Gabby. Welcome from South Africa. You know, I had my cousins used to live in Lesotho. I don't know how far Lesotho is from Cape Town. I don't think it's that far. It's in South Africa. But yeah, I definitely have some familial roots in your neck of the woods. So great. Welcome to the live show, Gabby. Let me know if you have any question. Let me know if you have any questions at all. I'm happy to answer them. Steven says, I'm spending the morning with Drucker, Friedman, Potter, Conger, and Nez for What's Real. Wow. Fantastic. Great. I don't know who all those people are. I think is that Chris Drucker, or is that Brad Friedman? Friedman's great, if that's who you're talking about. Thank you, Steve. Welcome to the show. If you have any questions, let me know. Bush 1900 says, curious what a week in your life is like work-wise. I work 8 days a week. It's not pretty. It is an up at dawn, falling asleep with my laptop in my hand, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I work 8 days a week, 24/8. You know, a lot of people say, well, how do you spend time with your family? What do you do with your family? I spend a lot of time with my family. I love my family. But yeah, I'm always working. I love it. I love it. I think I told a student this recently. You know, you found something that you love when you're pissed off that you have to go to sleep. I remember I was editing a video that I was getting ready to produce and publish. And my wife comes into the room and she's like, dude, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, what? And she's like, do you know what time it is? And I was like, no. And then I looked and it was like 2:45 a.m. And I was like, oh my God. And she's like, get your butt to bed. Okay. And I was like, yes, ma'am. You got to listen to the wife. La jefa. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that's when you know it doesn't feel like work to me. When I give my clients and customers everything, when I am constantly thinking about how to be better, how to improve, how to create the best content on planet Earth that will help you guys, it gets me cooking, man. I get locomotives in my veins. I get a fire in my chest, and I just love it. I love it more than anything, and I'm never gonna stop. I'm never gonna stop, ever. So I'm very, you know, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I work all the time, 8 days a week. Steven says, fathers of modern management. You're completing your master's degree. Look at that, man. I'm so proud of you, dude. That's so awesome, brother. I'm really proud of you, Steve. That's fantastic. Good for you, dude. I love the fact that you're, you know, always be learning. Always be learning. And we're living in an era now where you can get a better education at the University of YouTube and Google than you can really anywhere else. Always be learning. Yes, my wife calls me dude, amongst other things. Some things I can't share on live TV here. But yeah, most of the time she's like, yo, idiot, get to bed. Idiot, what are you doing? Come on, for the love of God. And no, I'm the luckiest dude on planet Earth. You know, we recently had our anniversary. Honey, if you're watching or listening, I love you to death. Actually, she's with the kids right now. She's not watching or listening. But we've been married for 10 years, and we've been together for like, I think 13, 14 or something like that. But I'd be nowhere without her. She's the CEO of the household. And I wouldn't be able to focus so much on building value and building my businesses and doing as well as I have without her. She's everything. It's so important to have a good partner in life. I mean, she's not just my wife. She's my best friend. She's my partner. She's my life coach. She's my business coach. There isn't one piece of branding, one piece of copy, one piece of thumbnail that I don't get her approval first. She's a genius. She's a billion times smarter than me, a billion times more talented than me. And she's my everything. I'm very, very lucky. And so I hit the jackpot there. Be careful who you give your time to. Be careful who you give your attention to. Be careful who you spend the ultimate currency in your life, which is time, with. It's very, very important to manage your time. What you give attention to becomes your experience. Listen to this. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. And this has to do with also paying attention to that demon inside your brain who's constantly telling you you suck, who's constantly telling you you're not good enough, you're too old, you're too this, you're too that. You've got to give that dude the pink slip. You got to fire that dude inside your brain, inside your dome. What you give attention to, you give power to. What you give attention to becomes your experience. Your experiences become your life. Be careful what you give your attention to. There's a lot of things that we don't have control over in this thing called LIFE. As a matter of fact, there's a ton of things that we have absolutely zero control over. I could have been born a female in Uganda with completely different parents, with completely different... I could have not been born at all. I have no idea where my interests come from. I have no idea why serving puts locomotives in my chest. I have no idea why I am... We don't know where interests come from. We don't know where our calling comes from. We don't create our calling. We discover our calling. There's very little in life that we have control over. I hate to break it to you, Nez Nation, but you don't have a lot of control. Externally, at least. But internally, you are the sovereign. You are the king of your domain, the queen of your domain. You have the ultimate power that any human being has, controlling what you give attention to. You would give attention to negative thinking, to defeatist thinking, to negative toxic people, you give them power. You give attention to negative media, you give attention to individuals who are trying to cut you down, bring you down, talk you down, you give them power. You give attention to a toxic boss, to maybe a neighbor that pissed you off, okay? You give so much attention to that and you build this narrative around that, you give them power. What you give attention to, you give power to. Be careful what you give your attention to. It's extremely important. It's literally everything. That's why my whole channel is about mindset and messaging. I was dominated by this dude inside my head. I call him the eternal doubter. That's what I call him. He is the eternal doubter, constantly doubting you. I gave way too much attention to the point where I was literally, I don't know if I've ever told anybody this, stuck in my one-bedroom apartment, in 1997, thinking I was going to be Hamlet. To be or not to be was the question that kept running through my head. Should I do it? I didn't feel like life was worth living. Thank God I didn't do that. Thank God I didn't do that. I don't think I've ever told anybody that. I don't even think I've told my wife that. But I've experienced the torture. I've experienced the absolute hell that is what happens inside here. And that's why my whole channel is about, because I remember being inspired by the great artists, the creators, the innovators, the difference makers, the disruptors, who said, do not listen to that. You are not alone. You were meant for bigger. And I hope with every fiber of my being that I can be just another link in that chain. That's my biggest goal in life. My biggest ultimate testimony and legacy is that I can just be another link in that chain. of the unbelievable. I call them my fathers and mothers, my non-blood fathers and mothers, right? Who inspired me. These came in the form of great books, great authors, great musicians, great artists, great teachers, great mentors, great human beings, great friends. I remember I had a friend. Let me know if any of you guys can relate to this. But I remember I had a friend who we used to have conversations in parking lots after concerts and parties that would last until 5, 6 in the morning, just underneath a street lamp. Conversations that moved the earth, conversations that shattered reality, because I was so lucky and blessed to have amazing, smart, intelligent, I mean, profoundly creative and intelligent friends when I was in my 20s, and 30s. And I'll never forget them. They were like they were inspiring. Inspiration is everything. I can teach you, anybody can teach, but it's a beautiful soul who can inspire. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If you try to teach me something, most people will either listen or not. It's kind of just, you're lucky if you get something. But if you inspire me, I'm a slave to you for life. If you inspire me, I will listen. I will pay attention. I will perk my ears. I'm yours. Inspiration is everything. It's absolutely everything. Yes, absolutely, Samson. Good wife, good foundation. Bush 1900 says, does saying no going along with what you're saying about giving attention to? Yes. Joe Dexter in the house. Good to see you, Joe. How are you? Great advice. Thank you, Joe. It's so awesome to see you. Talk about a life-changing experience. Thanks for being open, brother. You're welcome, Steve. Great to see you, brother. Oh man, I really appreciate that, dude. That really, really appreciate that. That's the whole reason I do this. That's the whole reason I create content. That's the whole, when I get those kind of messages, when I get those, so thank you. Thank you. That means everything to me. I want to have an impact because I remember those dark, nights of the soul. I remember being lost. I remember feeling like there's no point. I remember feeling like I was worthless. I remember feeling utterly devastated by what life had thrown at me, and being pulled out of the gutter by the inspirers, being pulled out of the darkness by the inspirers. There's a billion teachers out there, but there's very few inspirers. And those inspirers always leave an imprint. They have tattooed their being into my consciousness. And so, man, it's all about inspiration. And how do you do that, Nez? How do you inspire others? How do you inspire, period? By speaking, by communicating, by living, being a living poem. That's how you inspire. By being an eating, sleeping, living, breathing song. As Walt Whitman said, song of myself. Your very flesh becomes a poem. Your very flesh. When you are real, when you are capital R, real, and you're doing what you were meant to do, you're doing that thing that makes your heart pump a zillion miles a second. You're doing that thing that puts locomotives in your chest. You're doing that thing that you get pissed off that you have to go to sleep. That's when you inspire. I mean, that stuff is infectious. I remember Joe Rogan was talking about this on his podcast. I don't care what you're interested in. If you do it with zest and gusto and energy, I'm in. It's infectious. I mean, I had a dude, I'll never forget this. I had a dude talk to me about quilting, which I could care less about quilting, right? And he was just so passionate about it. He was so energetic about it. I'm like, I'm in. You got me. I'm hooked. I want to learn more. He just believed in it. He was doing something he believed in. He was doing something that he loved, that he felt in every molecule. He was electrified by this thing. You have that power. Give attention to that. It's that little thing that you've been avoiding. It's that little thing deep inside your chest late at night when the whole world is asleep. and you can't sleep, and it's just you, that dark ceiling, sitting up on your pillow, looking up at that dark ceiling. It's just you and the universe, right? The whole world is asleep. What is that thing that you know you should be doing? Because you know it. I know you know it, Nez Nation. You know that thing. Do that. Do that. I want to say it's been an unbelievable pleasure and honor meeting with you guys today. I'm just so ecstatic. I'm absolutely blown away by the response. I'm blown away by everything. Just in case you didn't know, you're watching Office Hours with yours truly. This is a show that we do live every single Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter. And I hope you will turn on all notifications. I hope you will make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow. That would absolutely mean the world to me. If you got a ton of value out of this, or if you got anything out of this, and you want to, let's say, just in case, if you're like, you know what, Nez, I want to go deeper. I want to go further. I want to learn more. Where do I start? How do I begin? We've got some unbelievable step-by-step, in-depth, detailed courses that have all been marked down severely since COVID. These are courses that are usually $1,000. They've been marked down over 60, 70%, some of them, on mindset, messaging, branding, how to earn money. We got a flagship course on how to earn money with your personal brand, where to start, how to start, what to do, everything in one nice, neat, convenient, organized, moduled course. Go to beyondtheboxacademy.com, and I promise you, you will not regret it. I really appreciate all of you guys. I love you guys so much, Nez Nation. You inspire me. You fuel me. And I hope to God that you guys will come back and join us every single Sunday. And I hope to see you soon. I've got videos that I'm going to be pumping. I've got a ton of content, so you want to make sure you click subscribe. You want to make sure that you follow. You want to make sure you hit the bell notification on YouTube. Subscribe on the podcast. Make sure you hit all notifications, all live notifications. And I'm going to keep bringing it. I ain't never going to stop. I want to thank Just Samson, Steven, Joe, Bush 1900, KD, Neil, Tom Nash, Learning Hub, Luis, Daniel, Matthew. There's so many of you. Gabby, thank you so much. Elizabeth Fisher, George Fisher, John, Big John. I want to thank all of you guys. McAllen, Charlie Dog. I want to thank all of you guys for being here today. And if there's anybody I missed, I apologize. But I super grateful, super appreciate all of you guys being here. It just absolutely means the world to me. And I hope to God that you guys will come join me next week. And by the way, if you're watching this or listening to this on the replay, we're gonna sign off here in just a second. But if you're watching or listening to this on the replay, just make sure that you bring your questions next week. Maybe you're like, well, Nez talks a lot about branding, messaging, building your online presence, growing an online business, building a business around your personal brand, your content, monetizing what's inside here. He talks a lot about career coaching, job search, LinkedIn, how to advance your career, how to ask for a promotion, how to build relevancy. He talks a lot about mindset and anxiety. Bring your questions next week. Have some questions planned out. Write them down and bring your questions. And I promise you, I will answer them. Thank you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. And I hope to see you guys next week. Have a wonderful week. Thank you, guys.